News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into Weather Extra. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt tracking more rain and storms out there at the moment. Areas where we didn't see a lot of rain yesterday dealing with the heavier rainfall. Let's go to First Alert AccuTrack radar, and you'll see where that rain's happening right now in areas back to the north. First off, you can see the planner for this evening. We're going to still see some scattered storms later on tonight. Let me take you over to radar view, and we'll see. That's one of those storms. Check this out. This is from the Vinemont area earlier. This is one of those storms that moved through, and who was that? Lauren Daniel, I believe. McDaniel shared that from South Vinemont, but that was that one storm that moved through northern Coleman County. You can see some gusty winds that happened. That's Wade McDaniels. Wade McDaniels shared that. I just want to thank Wade. That was from the First Alert Weather app, but that's some of the video from earlier, what we've been dealing with. And again, you can see that storm. Right now, we've got a lot of active weather happening. Marion and New Winston County, scattered storms moving north. Not a lot around the city of Birmingham, so if you're about to head out and about, most of what we're seeing, though, they're not far from Birmingham, around Palmerdale, Pinson, Center Point. That axis of storms has been moving north, and it's interesting yesterday because all this was moving to the south and west direction. Now it's lifting back to the east and northeast, but it is really popping around Pell City right now. I'm seeing quite a bit of lightning. Look at the strikes here. Over 300 in one of the views over the past 30 minutes. And when you see that total lightning strike, what you're looking at is just the total number of strikes from all that's in this viewing window over the past 30 minutes. And the negative strikes are a lot of those cloud-to-cloud strikes and a lot of what we see embedded in those storms. The positive strikes often are the strikes that actually begin in the upper portion of the cloud, and sometimes when you hear about trees being struck by lightning, things like that, that's often those nasty positive lightning strikes that we see. So what you're looking at when you see the positive and negative, that's what that difference is. But just really focus in on the total and know that there's a danger out there. You need to be in getting those loud rumbles. This is still around Chandler Mountain. You can see it really happening now with those lightning counts in Reese City, Gadsden. That's a heavy rain. We're giving you that first alert. All this pushing north, impacting the Neely Henry area, South Side, and Rainbow City, and Wellington. Been dealing with some heavier rainfall. And I had someone on Facebook said, Wes, I can't get a drop of rain. Listen, I'm right there with you. Hardly any rain. Where I'm located in the Birmingham area, but other locations. Yesterday we had over 4 inches of rain. Last night, according to one of the weather watchers in Taylorville and Tuscaloosa. So these storms, if they slow down, that's when you really start to run into problems. Things so far have been rather progressive for this afternoon. We'll have to watch that later on tonight because this will start to kind of slow down as it lifts further north. But a lot of rain, a lot of scattered storms. Springville, Holly Springs, Aniana. We missed out on some of that rain earlier. You can see this is all lifting back in towards the north, but not seeing much across West Alabama at the moment. But there's a chance that some more storms could move in from the west later on tonight. Lauren's going to flip on the national radar view, and I just want to show you what we're tracking back to the west of us. There's a broad upper low that's spinning. You can see the counterclockwise circulation in the atmosphere, and that's what's shifted around this pattern that we're in. I know the storms were moving south last night. Well, we're going to get more surges of these showers and storms moving to the east and northeast direction, not only overnight tonight, but tomorrow. There's some indications that we'll see some of these storms move in. The timing for that looks to be around 6, 7 o'clock, more into the evening. So there will be plenty of chances to heat up again tomorrow. A good chance we'll have that heat index topping 90 degrees over the next couple of days. It's going to get even hotter over the weekend. So again, we'll leave you with this planner. We're going to come back to the 7-day forecast. Just be on the lookout. Check that Fox 6 weather app for lightning alerts around the area for this evening. And coming up, we have a special visitor from our Telemundo channel checking in. Meteorologist Shinty Rodriguez is going to be checking in with us, and we're going to talk about a meteorite. You know, we're familiar here in Alabama. We had that historic meteor that landed over in Oak Grove near Sylacauga. We remember that story. Well, there's another story like that we're going to show you coming up, and we're going to check in on that weekend forecast just for moms. So stay with us.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Good Day Alabama.
A new morning comes with preparing right, because while you slept, news broke.
We have new information from that breaking news that happened this morning.
While you head out, the storm we gave you the first alert for is on its way in. And as the key turns the ignition, your shorter route to work is being found.
Avoid 459 southbound completely because of a crash.
A new morning means everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama, always on your side.
The First Alert traffic you need to get you there safe and on time. Tomorrow morning, everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama.
You're late, out the door, and on the go. Don't worry.
Good Day Alabama continues all morning long.
And wherever you watch, this is what you need to know right now.
More reporters on the streets with more hours of news when you need it. Everything you need for a good day is on Good Day Alabama. Knowing first is everything. First Alert Weather.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan, joined by meteorologist Tania Michelle, but we also have a very special guest in the studio with us today, meteorologist Shenty Rodriguez.
Woo-hoo!
And if you haven't heard of Shenty, well, you need to turn on our Telemundo station because she is the meteorologist for our local Telemundo station. We are so grateful to have you here, Shenty, who also happens to be a former classmate of mine as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Mississippi State, go Bulldogs, which we know Tania went there too. So Shenty, how are you liking Alabama?
I love Alabama. Like, it's very important to me being here because I know we have Hispanic community that is growing. So I love being able to being here and being able to communicate weather in Spanish because we need it. So I love Alabama. I love the weather, not so much during the summer when it's humid because the hair, you know.
Yes.
But I love being here. I love the nature and going outdoors. So yeah.
And you're from Puerto Rico,
I am
right?
from Puerto Rico, so I'm used to the humid
Yes.
weather. But once you live here, you get used to a little drier weather. So
That's true. And you, before this, where were you at before you came to Alabama?
well, I was in Puerto Rico. I lived
Right.
in Puerto Rico for my entire life, and I moved here in 2014. So next year is gonna be my 10-year anniversary
Wow,
of
time
living here in Alabama.
flies.
So yeah, clearly, because it doesn't seem like
No.
it's been that long. But yeah, I'm a true Alabama person now. So.
All right, we love that. Okay, so Shenty, you're born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And so now you work with Telemundo. Tell us about that experience. What was the transition like to getting your first job at Telemundo?
Well, Telemundo has been great because we didn't have that Spanish-speaking station here in Alabama. So again, like I said, my commitment with the Hispanic community is huge, is important. So I have a passion for it. So having the opportunity to being here in Alabama, communicating weather in Spanish, I think is great. So I love that Telemundo gave me that opportunity and that we're the first ones doing it. So
Yes.
it's a great opportunity, and I feel honored and privileged that they gave me that position to me. So I'm very happy about it.
Well, I know we're so grateful to have you here. And I know we were just talking off camera about how so important it is to have a type of person that we can have in this community to speak with the Spanish-speaking community, but we are also talking about how important it is during severe weather, not just on sunny days, but especially on severe weather days, to have that asset. But we've also mentioned the hard of hearing community as well. There are lots of different avenues we want to reach. What is your goal going forward in your position at Telemundo?
My goal is always to be able to bring awareness. We need to bring awareness about weather, and like you said, especially when we have severe weather, when we have tornadoes. We have a lot of active weather here in Alabama. So my goal is to be able to bring that awareness in Spanish, so people can know what to do before, during, and after a storm, what to do, how to make themselves safe and their family, how to keep them safe. So I feel like my goal is to being able to help the Hispanic community the best way I can.
Yeah, and I think the most interesting part is that part of your job at Telemundo right now, you don't just focus on the state of Alabama. Can you talk about the complexity of your job as a whole?
Yes, right now I'm doing the weather for the entire state of Alabama, but also in Tennessee and also Atlanta. So I track the weather for 3 states right now. And it is a very interesting, my days are busy, but I love it. I love what I do, and like I said, I feel committed to it. So I love it. I love the adrenaline and being able to help the communities not only in Alabama, but also in Tennessee and Georgia.
And now get this, you're not in a typical studio, right?
No.
So where is your studio at?
Well, right now I'm working from home, but I have the technology to do everything that I would be able to do here in the studio. So I think it's great that now we have that opportunity to work from home or the studio.
Very cool.
And I think that's one of the few good things that came from COVID is we did learn to become more adaptable as a broadcast community and how to better serve our viewers. So it's just so great to have you here, Shanti, and I'm looking forward. I know Tania and I are looking forward to having another weather sister in the market, but also being able to collaborate and better reach other communities in severe weather. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
No, thank you for having me here. I'm very honored. I'm very happy to be here. And I'm sure that we will be able to collaborate more in the future.
Absolutely.
We will, for
Definitely
sure.
got to bring her back on Weather Extra.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we can learn some Spanish.
We would.
That would be great.
I think
that's a good segment that we should be bringing
too.
into Weather Extra. So
Sounds
y'all
like a
stay
plan.
tuned for that. It is a plan. And you may have some plans to go to the beach this weekend. We check in now with meteorologist Matt Daniel, and our resident mermaid, Tania, apparently has an update on the forecast along with Vicki Ferguson. Let's take a look.
Hey, we're beaching it here with your beach forecast. It's the middle of the work week and people making plans to go on down to the Gulf of Mexico, Matt.
That's right. You know, we got some colleges have already graduated, so maybe they're heading down there. Everybody's getting ready to go to the beach.
Yeah, and it's just summer-like weather that we've been having here lately, but you know, our beach forecast is actually cooler than it is up here.
Why is that, Mickey?
It's just crazy. Well, one thing is we've got a little stalled system down there and going to give us a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the upper 70s for Thursday and Friday with that chance of rain.
I thought you were going to tell us it's because of that little breeze from the water actually bringing you some cooler temperatures versus further in.
That sounds good. We had a little front pushing through down there as well.
Yep, that's right. Hey, so if you're going to go out and about tomorrow, Friday, going into the weekend, look at those UV index numbers, 9 to 10. If you look at that little legend up there pointing at the very high range, what does that mean? You need to make sure you're protected from the sun. SPF 15 or greater, apply every 2 hours, hat, sunglasses, maybe even some clothes, you know, just to protect yourself, especially if you're fair skinned.
I wear a big old hat every time I'm at the beach, and I even get a sunburn from the sun bouncing off the sand.
Yeah, people forget about that. If you're out in the water, it can reflect off the water and off the sand, so be careful with that.
Bounces off people with really white skin. It just gives me a sunburn off of that.
You're talking about me? Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, hey, here's a look at that rip current forecast. It's in that moderate range going into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And hey, look at those temperatures off the water, a little warmer now.
Hey, hey, hey.
I think last week it was at 74. It's up to 76 degrees.
We might get the adults in the water instead of just the kids with warming up like that. Let's check out the forecast models for down there. Gulf Shores, Pensacola, Destin, Panama City, and getting a few showers going into the next few hours of Friday.
Yeah, Thursday and a Friday, it's hit or miss like it is here. So I definitely wouldn't cancel any of those outdoor plans. But just remember, when thunder roars, you go indoors. And we have those rain chances lingering going into Saturday into Sunday. So definitely not a washout by any means. And if you look at the Weather Prediction Center's forecast for the next 5 days for rainfall, It's not that impressive, maybe a tenth to a quarter. I will note, though, if you get a strong storm, it doesn't take a lot to produce maybe a quarter to half of an inch of rainfall. So
I would definitely go down there. I wouldn't cancel any plans based on that. So your 7-day beach forecast shows a 40% chance of rain Friday. That's probably our highest rain chance for the next 7 days. And then it tapers off for Mother's Day weekend. Do you take your mother with you on the Mother's Day weekend to the beach? Why?
If she's here, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't live in Alabama, but yeah, it's going to be great for Saturday and Sunday to head down to the Gulf Coast and enjoy some time at low 80s for highs, 70s for lows, and even going into next week, just an isolated shower storm.
I'd love a t-shirt, maybe a postcard, something like that. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be great.
Okay. All right. Happy beaching to you. And while you're down there, you can take a look at the First Alert weather app, not only to check the forecast, but you might want to submit a few beach photos for us to use on air.
That's right. And hey, send us pictures of Mom.
Yeah,
we'll put
Mother's Day.
We'll share for Mother's Day.
That's a good idea.
And give tribute to them because we love our moms.
Yeah, we sure do. All right, Mom, if you're watching, we love you.
Oh, we love that. And I love Mickey and Matt showing some love for their mamas. I always show love for my mama too. Hope she's watching right now. So be expecting a card in the mail in the next few days, Mom. In the meantime, coming up on First Alert Weather Extra, we check back in with Chief Meteorologist Wes for a look at that 7-day forecast, and I'll take you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling easy and more affordable for everyone. Hey everybody, I'm joined by Kirsten Page from West Shore to find out exactly how they're making that happen. Kirsten.
So Joe, we've been able to give homeowners, over 165,000 of them, the shower and bath of their dreams by making it a fast, easy, and convenient experience. But now we're making it even more affordable to start your project without breaking the bank.
Now Kirsten, when someone starts a remodeling project, costs can be a real concern. So how are you making it more affordable to start that project right now?
So instead of me telling you, why don't I show you? This homeowner was having some problems with their old shower. They called us, we stopped out, and we completely removed the old bathtub and replaced it with a walk-in shower in just one day. The best part? We can do a job like this for as low as $99 a month.
$99 a month, that's incredible.
It really is. We understand that budgets can be a little tighter this time of the year, so we want to make it easier for folks to get their projects started right now. So let's go ahead and look at another project we recently did. This homeowner was so excited to get rid of their old bathtub because they were getting an easy, low-step shower. You can see here we took out that old bathtub and removed everything down to the studs. Then we installed new walls and fixtures. By dinner time, this homeowner had their brand new shower, and the best part, they didn't need to worry about paying for their entire project up front. They were able to break it down into low monthly payments.
That project looks amazing, and the low monthly payments is going to make getting that project started so much easier. Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling fast and convenient, and you heard Kirsten, now they're making it more affordable too with their easy, low monthly payments. Call the number on your screen right now to start your project, and when you do, take advantage of this great offer. Call in now to get your new shower for as little as $99 a month. On top of that, they're doing free installation on all shower and bath projects. Don't delay. Call the experts at West Shore Home now.
Welcome back into First Alert Weather Extra. 7-day forecast here. Next few days still, there will be some rain, some storms to track out there. It's kind of hit or miss, so in between, look at these temperatures back close to 90 degrees for this weekend. In fact, today, it felt like 80 degrees out there by 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's really heating up fast around the area. Saturday and Sunday, the chance of rain's around 30%. So very summer-like pattern still that we're talking about. And the long-range forecast looks like in the next week, more scattered thunderstorms. So one of the things, the humidity, it's that air that you can wear. It is back, and next several days that humidity stays with us. You can see through the weekend there, Saturday, Sunday, next week. Yeah, it's that sticky feel is going to be with us. But what this is that storm octane. This is that storm fuel that's really going to fire up those afternoon storms. And some of those could be strong or severe, but these are the typical summertime threats. Intense lightning, gusty winds, maybe some hail producers. We had some more of those out there today. A lot of what we're seeing here in the short term is a storm impacts in areas to the north of Birmingham, to the east of Birmingham. Now that said, later on tonight, we could see some more development back to the southwest. The flow has kind of shifted around. We're seeing these storms moving in from the southwest, and the model data is telling us that we could see another surge here late tonight, early in the morning. Again, later at night, a lot of times we see a lot of this activity start to settle down. So whatever is still on radar, some of that could lift in if it holds together long enough and reach us, especially in West Alabama later on tonight. Otherwise, a similar start tomorrow. A lot of low clouds in the morning, maybe a little bit of fog, very warm, very humid. And then watch what happens tomorrow afternoon. Here it comes again, 8, 9 o'clock. Later in the day, basically, more of those storms wrapping around that system that's back to the west of us. You can see a good chance there. Areas where we had some heavy rain today, some indications that we could see those same locations with some heavy pockets of rain for later on tomorrow. But before that happens, it's going to heat up, highs in the 80s again. Mother's Day, we've got that 30% chance for showers and storms. And then into Monday and Tuesday of next week, highs in the 80s. I know yesterday we talked about maybe a break in that humidity. However, it looks like the mugginess is going to be with us for a while, or at least that's what Lauren Linehan says. As we head over to meteorologist Lauren Linehan, I know you were checking in on some of that long-range data earlier, and you and I were chatting in the Weather Center, and it seems like this weather's here to stay for a while.
Yeah, Wes, you know, we had been hoping, it's like, oh, there may be a little cool down next week. It's like, well, not necessarily a guarantee. So you know how it is. When we get into these summer-like patterns, it's hard to turn the switch back. But looking at the pattern 8 to 14 days from now, showcasing potentially across northwest Alabama, below average temperatures, but I don't necessarily think that means, ooh, it's going to be super chilly. I think that means there could be some more rain in the forecast that could knock that high temperature down. So let's look ahead to next week. We're talking possibly upper 80s early on. We know we're going to get warm over Mother's Day weekend. I say warm, let's be honest here. It's going to be pretty hot. But notice how those temperatures as we go not into this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend of May, how highs kind of top off in the 70s, a little bit below average. And again, I think that's going to account for a better chance of rain in the forecast. Yes, rain over a weekend. What a surprise. But then we begin to see those temperatures rebound past that following weekend. And what about those low temperatures? Well, still looking pretty mild next week, mild and muggy. And then as we look ahead to that following weekend in May, when I mentioned it could be a little bit cooler, you see temperatures falling, low temperatures, maybe in some spots getting into the 40s areas north, which isn't out of the question in May. Certainly not seeing any threat for frost, but I did mention that possibility of some above average precipitation 8 to 14 days from now across Alabama. So let's get a peek at what that could look like. And remember, we have to take these long range models with a grain of salt, but they do give us a general idea of how the trends could be in the coming days. So here we are next Thursday, May 18th, showing a developing area of low pressure closer to the Gulf Coast, possibly bringing us some rain again next Thursday and Friday. And so that shows with that developing area of low pressure, possibly keeping our rain chances higher as we get into that weekend. So an active weather pattern for May 20th and the weekend of May 21st, still showing it, okay, well, could get a little bit warmer, but more seasonable possibly. But you see, if we do get that potential for widespread rain and cloud cover from a low pressure system that could meander over the southeast, here we are Monday, May 22nd, that would help to knock temperatures down. So certainly seeing the possibility of a more active pattern. This here is hinting there could be an upper level area of low pressure. When you get those, they're tricky to forecast for, and they can be really stubborn to move away. So if we were to see a pattern that could evolve in that regard, that would indicate higher rain chances as we're getting into that third week of May. It's hard to believe we're already looking at the third week of May. Man, this year has gone by. But coming up next on First Alert or Weather Extra, we'll look at something that went by in the sky and made it down here to Earth. We'll be right back.
We heard the first alert. Mom says we have to go. She says I don't have time to grab any more toys.
Need to be in your tornado safe place. Get there right now as you have.
We have to get to our safe place because sometimes when you hear the siren, it's too late. That's why she says knowing first is everything.
We know weather can be grab the umbrella or jogging shoes, but it's so much more. It's a science, an art, led by knowledge and experience.
And no one has more of that than a WBRC First Alert weather team.
Warning you first with more hours committed to you. And the first forecast built to see weeks, days, and even minutes ahead, right down to where you live. From the team you trust on your favorite screen.
Doing the weather better. The WBRC First Alert weather team, always on your side.
The first alert is more than a warning. It's a promise. A promise to get you out of harm's way with plenty of time to spare. 4 walls and a roof can be replaced. Lives can't. That's why knowing first is everything. First Alert weather.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Severe weather is threatening the Denver area as it moves through Colorado today. And you can see some areas have already been dealing with large hail, causing some major damage, like to this car window. The storm system will bring the threat for tornadoes, damaging winds, more hail, and flooding. A flood watch is set to go into effect starting Thursday morning for north central and northeast Colorado. So this next story is out of this world. A family in New Jersey says a metallic object believed to be a meteorite fell from the sky and struck the roof of their home. Carrie Corrado has the details.
It appears whatever came from the sky fell through the roof, this top left window. This is my dad's bedroom.
Susie Kopp says she found this hole in her father's home on Old Washington crossing Pennington Road in Hopewell Township. At first, she says she thought someone threw a rock until she realized it was more than that.
We're thinking it's a meteorite. Came through here, hit the floor here because that's completely damaged. It ricocheted up to this part of the ceiling, and then finally coming down and resting just on the floor there.
Kopp says no one was home at the time. As she stepped around the debris and sheetrock, she found this 4x6 metallic rock in the corner.
I did touch the thing because I just thought it was a random rock, I don't know, and it was warm.
Derek Pitts, chief astronomer at the Franklin Institute, says it could be 4 to 5 billion years old, left over from the beginning of the solar system.
It's been running around in space all that time, and now it's come to Earth, and it fell right into their laps. But for it to actually strike a house, for people to be able to pick up, that's really unusual. It has happened very few times in history.
Kopp says emergency responders came and checked on her and her family.
They were afraid that, because if it fell from the sky, was it radioactive? Could we have any type of residue on us? They did scan us. Everything came back clear.
While this was a bizarre experience,
I just thank God that my father was not here. No one was here. We weren't hurt or anything.
And we're so thankful for that. As far as the Super 7-day forecast, if you like summer weather, I think you're certainly going to be thankful for it. We'll continue to have low mid 80s here through Friday, and then we're going to crank up that heat again as we go into the weekend. Now, before we get to the weekend, we still have a chance for some more scattered storms tomorrow. I know, as Wes has been saying, it's not like we're in a type of pattern where everyone's getting a deluge of rain. The storms pick and choose where they want to go. So apparently Wes's backyard has not been getting in on the fun. But looking ahead to Mother's Day weekend, still a chance of some hit or miss storms, but the big story, that heat and humidity cranking up. And then Monday and Tuesday, keeping a chance of storms in the forecast. We may get a little cool down by the middle of next week, a little bit, but we're not sold on it just yet. So check back in with Wes tonight on First at 9 for an update. You can catch us here on Weather Extra every weeknight at 6:30. I'm meteorologist Lauren Linehan. Have a safe and happy Wednesday evening.